All right, now we are ready. Welcome to finally the official debut of the Freshmen Podcast. I'm here with my co-host.
Games or
Yay!
virtual ray.
Yay!
Uh,
Um. All right, so we are going to be discussing this upcoming week and also some surprising results from last week in the college football season. Right. Week two. First, let's recap some upsets, particularly major ones, starting with as the ninth-ranked Clemson Tigers went down to play Duke, or maybe up. It did not feel that way for Clemson, as Duke upsets the Tigers 28-7 on a Monday night ACC conference battle. And what was your reaction to Duke upsetting Clemson? Like, how monumental is it for them and their program?
it was pretty monumental. Like 27 to 7. Was
It
that it?
was it was it was 28-7. They won by 3 possessions, 21 points.
That's a lot of points. Oh,
Yeah. Right. And
pretty big.
speaking of a lot of points, next Colorado TCU. Now, in case for some reason people around me kind of forget, but Deion Sanders, aka Coach Prime, one of the a legendary Hall of Fame NFL player, and now currently a college football coach. Last year, it was his last season at Jackson State, and now he's at Colorado. Colorado went 1-11 in the 2022 season. But they were able to go down to Fort Worth. They played the national the national runner-up from last year, the TCU Horned Frogs, and upset them 45-42 in a very close one. Travis Hunter is him. He played a bunch of defensive and offensive snaps. How good did Travis Hunter do against the Horned Frogs?
I think they did pretty good.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Put up a good fight.
I think you were because you told me you were watching the highlights. You saw Travis Hunter make a wild interception near the goal line.
Yeah, it was pretty good. Good interception. Like
Yeah, yeah,
pretty good.
yeah.
Man.
It's like I wouldn't say play of the year because it's only week one, but it's a contender. And then we head to back last Sunday night where the five-ranked LSU Tigers played number 8 Florida State in the Camping World Kickoff, which took place in Orlando. It was a neutral site game. Um, and I forget the final score. I think it was 45-24. Let me just quickly check that. Okay, it was okay. So Florida State won 45-24, and it really Travis Jane Daniels, the second installment after last year's Louisiana kickoff, which saw Tigers and the Seminoles battle against each other. So this is, I wouldn't call it a home and home, but technically it is, even though their kickoff games in the same state that they take place in. But, but how well do you think Jordan Travis, this, quote unquote, rivalry between Jordan Travis and Jane Daniels, how's it been going so far for Florida State?
I think they've been good for Florida. I mean, have they lost? How many games have they lost so far?
Okay, it's week one. They're 1-0. They haven't lost a game yet.
Oh yeah,
I say
I
yes.
forget.
We're in week one of the season, and as most of us know, college football can get wild. College sports in general can get wild. Monumental upsets like they're synonymous with March Madness, the college basketball tournament, and college football. Occasionally, especially the 2007 season, but it's a good win for Jordan Travis and the Seminoles.
Mm.
Yes, it is. All right, so all right, and now I think okay. Let's talk about And those three upsets were okay. Those okay, no, not okay, not Colorado TCU, but okay, two out of the top three upsets in one of the games of the year in North Carolina and South Carolina. Those three games of the week, I should say, were all won by teams in the ACC. North Carolina, Florida State, Duke, they all won their games. They're members of the ACC. Have they been the conference to watch this week and maybe okay for week 1 and week 2? Hello.
What'd you say? My
Uh,
let me
okay.
turn up my volume. I can't hear anything.
Okay.
Barely.
So the ACC. Um. Okay. So North Carolina and South Carolina. That was also a game of the week. North Carolina forgot the score, but they won I think by at least two possessions by against South Carolina. So North Carolina, Florida State, Duke, they're all in the ACC. They won the games of the week. And how like do you think the ACC will continue to be this exciting going into week 2?
I think so. I mean, they got weak. They got the thing, so they did the good thing. So I think they'll keep going because, like, man, they're popping off.
Yes, and continuing with the ACC, news broke last week that the ACC was going. They extended invitations to the University of California, Berkeley, Stanford University, and Southern Methodist University. So Cal, SMU, and Stanford. Okay, so SMU is in Texas. Those California, Cal and Stanford are in California. I honestly don't really know what to say about this. I mean, it's good for all three of these programs with the dying of what people are nicknaming the two pack. Because the only teams that'll be left in 2024 for the Pac-12 are Oregon State and Washington State. So is this move good for the ACC to add Cal, SMU, and Stanford?
I mean, I honestly agree what you said. I mean, it's good, but like what you said, I don't. The two, you know.
You're saying you're agreeing with me that we don't know what to expect with the ACC with Cal, SMU, and Stanford.
Yeah, we don't know.
Um,
I don't know. Right.
yeah, we don't really know what to say. So let's okay, I forgot what I was gonna say. Let's preview some games for week 2. We're gonna start with Notre Dame at North Carolina State. That is going to be at 12 p.m. Eastern time. Of course, me and him are in Central Time. Um, Eastern Time. Let's actually pick who we're gonna win this game. I would say Notre Dame. They're number 13. They're ranked number 13 in the country. Who do you have for Notre Dame, NC State?
Let me on that. Let me give me a second.
Okay.
I want to thank man some good teams out there.
Um, Now the ACC could continue to be exciting. We don't we it's a coincidence that all these happen in the same week. All those games, North Carolina, Florida State, Duke, those all happen in the same weeks. But will that success continue for Notre Dame and NC State? Because NC State, they're ACC. Notre Dame, it's a little bit interesting. They're a full member, but not in football. They're an independent team in football, and they're a member of the Big Ten in ice hockey. But who do you think will win who do you think will win Notre Dame versus NC State?
Uh, Crap. I'm trying to remember.
'Cause NC State's unranked. Notre Dame's 13, right? It's I mean, like, it can get crazy. Like, not too crazy, though.
It's supposed to be showing. Your
Hmm?
camera's still not loading, by the
What?
way.
What do you mean, my.
Just to let you know your camera's still not on.
It's. Okay, on Discord, yes, it's Final Streamlabs. It's Final Streamlabs, it's. Okay, okay, I connected my camera independently to Streamlabs instead of my webcam.
Let me try something.
Oh, Um, that's POV from my camera. So who do you have winning? Oh, I can't hear you. I can only hear you better on from your computer. Yeah, my camera's fine. It's fine. It's just for some reason not showing up on Discord. But I can promise you the viewers can see it. You can join back in on your computer. Did you turn your mic off? Did you, did you turn your microphone off? Okay, well, this is new. Um, I don't know what to do here. You can still hear me, right? Okay, okay, here, just type who you think will win Notre Dame and NC State. You can type in the chat, I'll share with the viewers. This is okay, trying to fix our stream here. Should be working for some reason. It's not on our end, but all right. So okay, so we lost his sound. Um, okay, so Notre Dame, NC State. I pick Notre Dame Fighting Irish, and he picks. Okay, so wait for. Okay. So. Okay. So his decision. It's actually hard to say because of. So. Okay. So Notre Dame is. Has two wins on the year, one from week one and then what they call week zero, basically preseason, but it counts towards the regular season, basically the kickoff games. Um, it's still a tough for him to say if Notre Dame or NC State will win. Which I mean, with the craziness of the ACC right now, it's all right. But personally, I have Notre Dame winning that one. Then, of course, usually forget. Okay, Utah Baylor. I have Utah winning this one after Baylor's lost. I cannot speak. After Baylor's loss to Texas State last week, I don't really see how Baylor can win this. Um, okay. Um, all right. Utah Baylor. All right. So Utah with the 24-11 win against Florida last week. Baylor, fortunately losing to Texas State, which Texas State looks like the way more dominant team. It's Yeah, okay, so he agrees with me. Utah will win the game. Um, so, um, so next up, I think it's I forgot. People are saying this is one of the top games of the week. Nebraska, Colorado. Nebraska, unfortunately, losing 13-10 to Minnesota on the road with their new head coach Matt Rule. I personally, I think Coach Prime will live up to expectations, and I think you'll actually get the get the Buffaloes to another win as the Buffaloes are ranked, I think it's 22nd in the country. Yeah, 20 number 22 in the country. Nebraska is unranked. I have Colorado. And that game is going to be played in Boulder. Okay, waiting on a response. So, new head coach after the craziness of Scott Frost going, I think I was either 4-8 or 3-9 last year. Then they hired Matt Rule, and I mean, it was a close game against Minnesota, but we can't really say if that's supposed to determine their entire season. I'm just saying Colorado's better than Nebraska. Okay, yeah, Colorado, Deion Sanders, Coach Prime doing a good job so far for the season. I mean, winning against the national runner-up, just if it was an extremely close game because you have a dominant head coach on a team that went 1-11 last year, and then you have a national runner-up that's fallen off after Max Duggan was on the Chargers before. I think they waived him now. That dog. Yeah. Okay. So, hi. All right. Oh, sorry. Notre Dame's number 10 in the country. I got confused. Last week they were ranked number 13, but now they're number 10 in the country. Yeah. So, all right. So next game. Okay. So it's gonna be Texas A&M versus Miami. Um, Texas A&M, Miami. I think it'll be a close game. I have Miami upsetting Texas A&M, and I think it's going to be Miami's going to win by at most 5 points. I can't really see the final score, but that's my pick is Miami upsetting number 23. Yeah, number 23 Texas A&M. So who do you have? And again, sounds off for some reason. So all right. So that's okay. So Texas A&M Miami, and now we're into the 3:30 p.m. Eastern games. Now we're kind of like that thing. There's the other one. It's between like two teams, like 20 and I think 24, 23 maybe. Tulane, I think Tulane may have. Okay, okay. So he is going with Texas A&M. He is gonna say that the Aggies win against the Miami Hurricanes. So I can okay. So it could. You're saying it could go both ways. Yeah. Okay. So all right. So next game is yeah. Okay. It was Ole Miss Tulane, an interesting game. Interesting because it's two teams in the top 25, but it's Power Five and Group of Five. Basic Power Five conferences: the ACC, Big Ten, Big 12, Pac 12. Hmm? What? Okay. Um. Yeah, so Ole Miss is in the SEC. Meanwhile, Tulane is in the American Athletic Conference. So it's an interesting game. I think Tulane will upset Ole Miss. Who do you have? All right. Okay. So Tulane, their good win over South Alabama last week. Ole Miss, think they won 73-7 over Mercer, which is an FCS program, and what we're talking about right now, FBS football. So who do you have, Ole Miss or Tulane? So he's gonna type it in the Discord chat because for some reason his sound randomly went out. So so again, I have Tulane winning that one. Played at Yeoman Stadium in New Orleans instead of at Ole Miss. It's interesting group of Power Five at Group of Five, which another one will actually be next week in Week 3. There'll be Alabama, South Florida, which I think is a strange game, but we're not predicting that right now since it's not Week 3 yet. So it's my so Okay, so if he's gonna be Ole Miss, he's doing pretty good right now, and wait, hang on, what? Okay, okay, I was saying I was mentioning just Alabama, South Florida because it's a power. Ole Miss Tulane is a Power Five at Group of Five. Okay, Ole Miss is in the SEC. Tulane is in the American, and then Alabama's in the SEC. South Florida's in the American. I was just mentioning it because it was a very interesting Power Five at Group of Five. But think Ole Miss is going. They're doing pretty good right now. They have been doing good. They won 73-7 over Mercer. It was for some reason my mind's drawing a blank with some of these games. All right, next, possibly game of the week: Texas at Alabama. The Longhorns and the Crimson Tide, the second installment in this home and home series between the two, which started last year. Well, okay, last year, um, Texas hosted Alabama, but Alabama was able to edge them out. This year, we don't really know. Alabama ranked number 5 in the country. Texas is number 11 in the country. But do you think Texas or Alabama? Because I could see it go either way. I have the Crimson Tide winning. I can't really go against Nick Saban right now. Because right now they're trying to get back to where they once were. Or, Alabama, they were ranked number 4 to, I think it was number 4 to start the season. Um, yeah, the lowest that they've been since 2009, when they were ranked number 5 in the country. Um, so Texas or Alabama? Honestly, and honestly, right now I could see Alabama winning off a walk-off field goal instead of a touchdown. Um, it's like gonna be legendary for fans rushing the field, knocking out the top 25 of the country. Okay, another team out of the top 25 in the country again. That was a Discord server, not the chats. It randomly does that because like I joined like holy crap, 250 notifications from just one server. And then 58 from another. I need to check them. I need to turn off my computer once in a while. Okay, so so he thinks it'll be Alabama. They're pretty high in the country. Still top 5. They were ranked number 4 last season. For some reason, dropped in the rankings. They for some reason dropped in the rankings. I think it was because of that LSU Florida State game. Um, but I think Texas may try. Are you saying that Texas will try to come back late in the game, but Alabama will win in the end? Is that what you're trying to say? Right, so again, for those of you tuning in, sounds off for some reason. I don't know why. Currently, as you can see, I'm not with him. So he thinks Alabama will have a big lead. Texas will try to come back, but Alabama will win in the end. Saban and the Tide, a long-standing relationship. 2007. That's 16 years ago. That's when they just started. You know what else happened in 2007? Everything. Monumental upsets. And yeah, we had a few of those last week. All right, so and then lastly, Oregon, Texas Tech. Oregon coming off an 81-7 win over Portland State, and then Texas Tech losing on the road to Wyoming in double overtime. This game is okay. So the Texas, Alabama, and then Oregon, Texas Tech. Those games are okay. So those games are airing at 7 p.m. Eastern. Unfortunately, I'm not going to be able to watch those because okay, so there's going to be like a watch party, like watch party invitations at my house for Arkansas State, Memphis. But who do you have winning against? Okay, who do you have winning, Oregon or Texas Tech? I'm going with Oregon. Can't really say no to a team that won 81-7 last week. Can't really say no to them. Unless you have Texas Tech upsetting Oregon, which that case, I mean, honestly, game of the week. It's questionable whether it's game of the week or not. Um, but I think it may be closer than some people think. Um, I think Oregon's gonna pull it out in the end, though. Survival of the fittest out there. Yeah, yeah, so you agree with my opinion on Oregon? They won 81-7, and yeah, 81-7 over Portland State last week. All right, and I think there was one more thing before I forgot it. All right, um, all right, so okay. All right, college football playoff predictions. This is the final season of which we will have a 14 playoff. Next year, it will be brought. The total of teams will be brought up to 12. All right, so I'm gonna type it in the chat for you. But okay, I think it's gonna go. I think it's gonna go something like this. So we'll pick this 1 through 4 seeds, and then so um. All right, so let me just type finish typing it in the chat. Okay, so here are my college football playoff predictions for this season. At the 1 seed, we'll go 1 through 4 because there's only 4 teams. The last year of it, next year we'll have 12. So for this season's college football playoff, I have at the 1 seed, I have the USC Trojans, Caleb Williams leading them to an to a remarkable season. Hopefully not like 2 upsets to Utah and then to Tulane, and like last season. And number 2, and I have the Georgia Bulldogs. I don't see them. I see them falling in the rankings. Actually, I know that they may still go undefeated, but it's possible to go undefeated and drop in the rankings from the preseason. Don't remember the last time it happened. If it happened, but we'll see. Number 3, I have the Penn State Nittany Lions. Now, Michigan and Ohio State are also good picks. They each have their own struggles. With Jim Harbaugh gone for a few games. After the Wolverines suspended him, and Ohio State. We don't know. I can't even pronounce their quarterback's name. I think Penn State will make it to the playoffs over Michigan and Ohio State. And then at the number 4 seed, I have the Tennessee Volunteers. Last season, we all thought that they were definitely going to make it. That did not happen. What happened last season? They got upset by Georgia, and then they got upset by South Carolina, and that they really drew the nail in the coffin. Like bye bye playoff hope. So I'm gonna let him type in the chat. Who do you think will? What's your 1 through 4 seeds in the playoffs this year? Just going based off the top 25, because um. All right. right, so Georgia, they're looking to three-peat. They won back-to-back national championships, but I don't think they're going to be in. Don't think they're going to be the one seed in the playoffs, though. They still could go undefeated and win the SEC again. But I don't see them at number one. We'll see. Wait, so apparently he's doing a little bit of research time in the chat. May rearrange the order of my playoff a little bit. But we'll see in a second. Yeah. Okay, so so you're switching. Okay, so you're thinking Penn State will actually be on top of Georgia. Interesting. Okay, don't see them falling to number three. I don't really see Penn State climbing it to number two, but I think they're both gonna make the playoffs. So honestly, I mean Tennessee. I mean it's they're wild. They're like going like wild right now because we don't know what's clearly happening with their team. But yeah. So and that marks the end of week two, and but officially the first episode of the Freshman Podcast. Thank you for watching or listening.